I've learned a lot recently and I'd love to share it with you. You will see how to create a perfect intro using different AI tools and lots of creativity. In 9 easy steps, we go from a simple recording like this to a cool intro with special atmosphere and even sound effects. I received a lot of questions about how I did my last intro with me as a cowboy riding a rhino. I'm very happy to show you. So let me take you behind the scenes in this tutorial. Step 1. First, of course, you have to shoot a video of yourself. I don't just choose about 30 seconds as the length for this recording, because there is a rule for YouTube that you should get to the heart of what the highlights of a video are in the first 30 seconds, in the hook, so to speak. At the same time, in the current version of Act 1, Runway only allows the use of a 30-second video as a reference. Step 2 is, who would have guessed otherwise, ChatGPT. Click on Create Image, copy the prompt of your choice here. For example, create a photorealistic picture of me as a cowboy riding a rhino. If you then click on the white circle on the right, you will get the following result, for example. This picture, the face, is actually very striking and realistic. I think the eyes in particular are very well and convincingly captured. Of course, the cowboy is wearing an orange sweater with a dark blue collar. The only drawback that immediately catches the eye is the format. Here the ChatGPT Image Generator is still relatively headstrong. Even if you explicitly enter 16:9, it is not certain that the image actually corresponds to this aspect ratio. In step 3, we switch to Adobe Photoshop. I created a new frame in the 16:9 format and loaded the image from ChatGPT into it. As you can see here, I now have to try to turn a portrait format image into a landscape format image, as this is the standard format on YouTube. I place the figure in the middle, but I could of course also move it to another position. For this purpose, I place it in the center again. As there are no visual elements on the right, bottom, left and top, I have to bring these parts to life, so to speak. There are 2 options available. Firstly, via Midjourney, simply use the external image editor there and change the format of the original image to 16:9, but my experience shows, at least at the moment, that you can often expect very strange results. That's why my first choice here is Adobe Photoshop, or a similar tool. Mark the relevant areas and simply enter Remove via Generative Fill. This expands the savanna and you have the perfect image in a 16:9 format. If you don't like it, simply repeat the Generative Fill function until you are satisfied. The next step is to animate the image. My platform of choice is Kling. As you can see here, I have uploaded the cowboy image in the top left-hand corner and copied the prompt below it. It reads, "A person sits on a rhino, looks into the camera and talks to the camera, while the rhino walks very slowly and turns its head to the side. Muted colours." Again, it is very important that you enter these 2 words, muted colours. This prevents the contrast and saturation from deviating completely. Camera is stationary is also important so that the entire scene is a steady shot. And finally, the note for the movement of the rhino, very slowly, is crucial so that it doesn't jump around and make the scene unusable, even though it certainly looks funny. What's more, I have to extend the video using slow motion. The AI would then have to generate intermediate sequences, which usually look very blurred, so the slower the movement, the easier the post-processing. For credible communication with the listener, simply add to the prompt that the person is looking into the camera while speaking. This helps Runway immensely with facial recognition. Well, now we have created the video via Kling 2.0. I then downloaded it, but it's a 5-second video. As you heard earlier, I made a roughly 30-second voice recording in step 1. So that doesn't fit. How do we merge the 2? We have to extend the video with the rhino somehow. And of course, there is a powerful AI tool for this. This is called Video AI from Topaz. Simply upload the 5-second video there. To do this, go to the settings on the right and select 2x upscaler as the output resolution, because the videos you currently get from Kling 2.0 have a fairly low resolution. I select Thea as the AI model and click on slow motion further down. We know that our source material is 5 seconds long, but my recording is roughly 30 seconds in length. This means that we have to increase the length of the movie with the Rhino 6-fold. Therefore, select 6x for slow motion and Chronos as the AI model. I don't need the fast version of Chronos because the output, video AI runs locally on my computer, is relatively fast. Then click on Export As at the bottom right, and after a short time you will have the necessary 30-second video of the Rhino. Now back to the browser. There we start Runway. This is the perfect solution for our purpose. You probably know the Act 1 feature. This only works with Runway Gen 3 Alpha, at least at the moment. I always use the turbo version for this. You can see my video at the top left. This is the driving performance, so to speak. This movie is exactly 24 seconds long, and below it, as a character reference, is the video that I extended with Topaz Video. This has 25 seconds. Now the decisive factor comes into play. You could now ask, okay, you've simply extended a 5-second video to 30 seconds. Doesn't that all seem very tough and not very credible? Yes, dear listener, that's true. But if I click on Generate here, Runway will overlay the animation of the face in real time. This means that the face is animated realistically fast again, even if the Rhino's body continues to move slowly. This gives the whole video a touch of gravitas and weight. And one thing is also clear, the viewer concentrates first and foremost on the face, and doesn't realise that it's actually a slow-motion film he is watching. So I created this movie. It now runs for 25 seconds, synchronised with my words. The resolution of this video with Runway is still relatively low. Now there are two options again. Go back to Video AI from Topaz and select the upscaler of your choice. Or I do it right here at Runway. The platform offers the option of using a 4K upscaler for 48 credits. This not only makes the video higher resolution, it is also uniquely impressive in terms of contrast and sharpness. I really have to say that Runway has come up with a top solution for this. The result impresses me across the board. The next step is to define the background sounds. We use the 11 Labs platform for this. Click on the Sound Effects button in the navigation on the left. Enter Nature Sound in Africa, Animals in the African Savannah, or Wind in Africa in the prompt bar at the bottom. You will be given 4 examples of each. Simply download one or all of the sounds and the background effects topic is done. Last but not least, it's time for post-production. I use Adobe After Effects and/or Adobe Premiere Pro for this. You can see my video here, the 4K result from Runway. That's the top blue bar. Below that, in green, is the voiceover, which I also created with 11 Labs, by the way, because my own voice sounds relatively meagre. I place the nature sounds, the chirping of crickets, in these lines. Then there are the weather sounds. Birds should not be missing either. And when we click on Export, we get the perfect 24-second result. This is just the beginning. If you use the ChatGPT Image Generator correctly, you can be almost anyone or anything. Just follow your imagination and enter the right prompt. Let me show you a few more examples. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening. See you soon. Your channel, AI, Now You Know.